Hi, Lisa. Thank you for taking my call.
That's okay. We just keep it short though, because I'm a little bit over time.
That's fine.
Yeah.
My question is just if there's no free will and there's no free will, how there's nothing I can do to stop myself from judging the way that I live my life.
But but you think that that's different from the way it was before, so that now you've worked that out, you think that you've come up with something different, but what will happen is judgments will come up, and then more than likely there will be an effort to stop that because it's uncomfortable, just like if you had a thorn in your foot.
Yeah.
So it's like it's so sometimes when we hear these concepts of no free will, we then think that everything that's been learned we have to throw out. Like, so
Right.
everything that helps us heal in some way or helps us in any way, we have to stop doing it because you think, I'm doing it. But doing happens, it's just seeing that the one that thinks it's doing it, the one that thinks it knows, doesn't. Like, that's illusory. So what will happen is judgments will come up, and then everything that you've learned from spirituality, from psychology, will appear in that moment to stop the judgments, and that's perfect. And if it stops it or doesn't stop it, that is perfect as well. And there'll be some methods that will work better for you and some that won't work as well, but it doesn't matter. Like, the true freedom comes from seeing that that's not you.
So it's kind of like I'm just watching a movie of this self doing different things, but it's not really me.
Yeah, but even the eye that thinks that it might be possibly watching the movie still isn't it. It's like this absolute impersonal consciousness watching that has no I in it. It's watching and it's always there. So right now, are you looking at me on YouTube? Even though I'm speaking out of time.
Um, no, I wasn't.
No, okay. So what are you looking at?
Yeah, a picture of you with a horse.
A picture of me with a horse, and then there's a computer, and then there's a wall behind the computer?
Yeah.
Okay, so before I said all that, there was a consciousness of the wall behind the computer because it was in your sight of vision, but you didn't have a sense of, oh look, there's a wall. There was just a consciousness of it happening, and it was without any effort. Your personal awareness was focused in on the picture, maybe, I'm just presuming what you were doing, of me, and focusing in on the attention of listening and understanding me. So that's what your personal awareness was doing. But the consciousness was conscious of all of that, but it was also conscious of the wall, conscious of the computer, conscious of the table the computer's on. But it didn't know what those things were. It didn't know what the wall was. It didn't know what the table was. It wasn't naming them. It doesn't name anything. It's just conscious.
Okay. So there's no way that I can ever apprehend or be conscious of that thing, but the self that believes it's in control can fall away.
Yeah. And then that is known, that consciousness is known, or is everything. That consciousness is seen to be the wall, the computer, the table. So that I can never know it, but that consciousness is knowing that I now. Otherwise, there would be blackout. It would be deep sleep. There would be nothing happening. There has to be consciousness here in order for this life to be happening. So in order for you to be speaking to me now, and in order for you to be like thinking in your mind about consciousness or not consciousness, there's something that's conscious of that. There's something that's watching that silently without any effort. And you can't contain the consciousness. You can't put it in a bag and grab it. It's there. It can never get punctured. It can't get stabbed. It can't get torn apart. It can't get killed or turned off or turned on. It's there. It's the birthright of everything. And it's what's always overlooked. It also comes with this sense of being, which is love. And it is no thing, and it is all things simultaneously.
Yeah. What you're saying is consistent. I hear this from many different speakers. It's just there's no free will or there's no not free will, so there's nothing I can do about the fact that I don't presently feel that love.
Mm. I think that your mind in that area is looking at the wrong point. So in that, what you've just said to me is, I would look at what's underneath that, and I would look at how that makes you feel at the idea of no free will. because what your I is attached to is free will. And so when it hears that, there could be relief, but a lot of the time there comes a depression or becomes a sadness because there is attachment to free will. Because if you have free will, then you've got the ability to do things, and you've got the ability to get yourself out of this mess or get yourself into a better situation or produce money. Like, the idea of free will produces a lot of like high stories and high imaginations. It's like the hero story, like, I'm gonna make it, I'm going to arrive, I'm going to conquer the world. And so when it hears this, it often challenges that attachment. And so when people hear that message, it begins to make them feel depressed, and they think it's pointless, there's nothing I can do, I can't make it. And they don't see that those thoughts are absolutely irrelevant to the teaching of there is no free will. They believe those thoughts to be true, and they don't look deeper into the experience at where the attachment is.
Okay, well, I will stay curious about that. Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah, with pleasure, Eric. Thank you for your call. Lots of love to you.
Likewise, bye.
Bye.